Hello, this is Michael Hexter. Welcome to my Politics 2100 channel here on YouTube. So this episode I'm calling Armed U.S. Narcissists, believe that their deadly phalluses will erase all their frustrations. So this is a response to an incident that happened last week where a mother of school children in Page County, Virginia, threatened a school board by saying she was against a mask mandate, and she was going to bring, quote unquote, all her guns on Monday to school. And so this is a threat that she might very well realize that threat. And as a number of commentators, including Farron Cousins, also Cenk Uygur, have commented, she should go to prison for this threat. And I hope that she's prosecuted. But the sentiment that she's expressing, this kind of behavior should be criminalized if it isn't already. It's illegal, and but it is a part of a larger psychological phenomenon that we see on the right wing, where there's an enormous the frustration tolerance of many individuals in that group is very, very low, and they feel like their guns, they're what I call the deadly phallus, that they think that will alleviate their frustrations by discharging it. Okay, I'm sorry for the double entendres in that, but they think they're going to, and basically they're frustrated with other people. So this is and I call them narcissists because they are putting themselves in the position of judge, jury, and executioner. Okay, among other things, they're putting themselves in an elevated position where they feel like their feelings can eliminate essentially other people, can kill other people with impunity. Okay, and that they would be justified to do that they would, because of their intense feelings in this area. And so I see this as part of this cult of the deadly phallus in the United States, and it encourages, and I'm adding the word narcissist to this because this is a grandiosity, and a dangerous grandiosity, and that is now coming ever more to the fore, or certainly is revealing itself more openly. And people like this right-wing mother, or it can be any individual necessarily, but her, at least some of this is playing out in school boards, think that they can threaten with impunity, using the threat of using guns, and thinking that they are somehow defending themselves because of all the justifications that the right-wing gun culture has attached to gun ownership and gun use and gun carrying. And we have other we have efforts now to have 18 in Wisconsin. They're attempting to allow school children to have concealed weapons. Okay, and so there's this worship of the idea, and also that one can, by owning a gun, one immediately elevates one's status, and can then use that to discharge one's frustrations. Okay, and also to that discharge on the side of the person with the gun leads to death or injury on the other side, or sometimes death to the person who's discharging the gun in reality because of either an accident, or the other person, or somehow they're literally, police have to come if you do that, and they might die from that interaction. Not because I think that should happen if from the police side of the police, but that the risk is high. Whenever you get into armed conflict, you are immediately endangering yourself as well as others, and so. But anyway, but the drive to want to experience this state of empowerment, okay, with by carrying a gun, by having a gun, is very, very strong, and it's imagined to be this experience of you could say enlightenment, you could say intense arousal, okay, and intense positive feeling, okay, and also a banishment of negative feeling, of frustrations, and the idea is that you essentially using it like a drug in a way to just erase feelings rather than actually work on the social processes which gave rise to those feelings, which are, have all kinds of causes that are out there in the real world and in your real relationships with other people. So, but in any case, this is an immediate fix, like a drug for those feelings, and immediate but temporary and damaging fix. And so, but anyway, so this we see here with this incident a enactment of that fantasy, and so, and it's there are many ways to condemn it. There are many ways to, or at least to problematize it, to pathologize it, to on an ethical level to condemn it, and also just the quote unquote frustration is also ethically insupportable, in that wearing masks in school at this point in time is well supported by science and well supported by the public health recommendations, and as frustrating as it may be for children, adults, so forth and so on, for all of us, I am not someone, unlike the accusations of people on the right wing, I am not someone who enjoys wearing a mask and all these and that activity. I'm looking forward to a time soon, I hope, when I'm in public I don't feel like I need to wear one. But anyway, but this mother of these children in Virginia feels like entitled, as do almost all every anti-mask activist and anti-vaccine activists, is that they think their spew, okay, their output of aerosols, okay, should be tolerated by everybody, and that it is without, and that not just tolerated, that people should accept it, and rejoice in it in a way, and they don't, and they feel insulted essentially by the idea that they could be endangering other people. Now I'm using these abstract terms like that their spew or their aerosol, so forth and so on, because there's also a metaphor in the United States for both the gun culture, but also COVID-19 anti-public health activism, and then there's the gun culture, which is again, my hail of lead, is I decide when to release it and when not to release it, without regard for anything, without regard for other people. So then that's my quote unquote freedom, okay, freedom to damage other people, or to try to damage them, or to try to intimidate them by saying I have this weapon, okay, by showing the weapon, okay, and and by therefore gaining power over other people. Um, uh, and so again, the person, if I told them, they said, oh, no, 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 not power, I'm just my Second Amendment rights, okay. But they are trying to push that, so basically they are intimidating other people. They not just their lawmakers who are also on the Republican Party who are trying to create this class of this super class of people who are uh, sadistic intimidators of other people via the carrying of guns or bullying uh, uh, intimidators of other people by people who carry guns and who are given more rights than people who choose not to carry guns, and including the right to mistakenly, quote unquote, mistakenly kill other people because they fear like they were in self-defense, okay, that it was in self-defense. So there's that, and then there's the output of of greenhouse gases and the profligate use of fossil fuels, the embrace of whatever coal rolling, which is uh, making a truck particularly sooty in terms of its output, and and attempting to shock and show your middle finger at environmentalists and liberal people and morality and so forth and so on, and just say, my spew, my output is my freedom consists in me spewing out whatever I want, okay, in terms of greenhouse gases and whatever I get my hands on, and furthermore, in particulate matter, the coal rolling involves also this smoke, visible smoke. But anyway, the greenhouse gases are invisible, and so, or most of them are pretty, you can hardly see them unless they're whatever, sulfur dioxide or in the atmosphere, and or thin sort of, basically they're all invisible, so you can't see the greenhouse gases, but you can feel the effect of them by the way the temperatures are going up all over the world. So anyway, but this attitude, again, what I'm trying to create is a similarity of this idea that you are this artificially elevated person by owning a gun and by resisting public health and by having the large vehicle that where you have disregard. Now there are other people outside that right-wing culture who also have disregard for, particularly in the area of greenhouse gases. Okay, so it's not that this subculture of people who are in all three categories of gun fanatics, anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers, and also owners of large, oversized trucks and oversized vehicles with large imposing grills and so forth and so on, and also with the the culture of threat that is, and by the way, automobile designers are co-responsible for this, and automobile manufacturers in marketing to this idea, because it's not only this subgroup of tens of millions of, or maybe a few 10 million, whatever, 20 million, 30 million, extreme right wingers and so forth and so on. But then there's sort of the sort of more casual user of any the sort of people who kind of nibble on this culture and just sort of get something out of the maybe they do own a gun, but they don't parade it around, or maybe they or they own an oversized vehicle. More likely they're owning an oversized vehicle and with a high grill and so forth and so on, and and it's sort of their quote unquote toy. Anyway, um, this I'm trying to create a whatever a portmanteau or a general model for what kind of a psychology and what kind of a is this cult? Is this where I'm saying it's a narcissistic cult? It's a cult of death. It's a cult that attempts to establish a superiority over other people, and also endangering the other people and basically disregarding their existence, erasing their existence, erasing them as people to consider at all, zero empathy with other people, you know, and reckless disregard for them. So anyway, so I just wanted to put this out there, and this is a theme that I will return to over and over again, and it's unfortunate, and it's grim. It's a grim situation here, but I think it helps to have some kind of a, you know, psychological or, you know, abstract overall conceptual grip on it to try to you know, understand it, to try to and also to pathologize what's going on, and you know, and to say, and also to, it's not just pathology, which is, you know, part of mental health and psychology and so forth and so on, or, you know, clinical or psychiatry or whatever clinical work, but it's about also ethical. There's an ethical dimension to it as well, that, you know, people could decide that on purely ethical and moral grounds that they don't want to participate in this culture. So it's not just you know, whatever psychological or something but it has many psychological dimensions to it. So anyway, so if you like this video and if you have some thoughts about it, please comment. Or if you didn't like it, also please comment on it. But please, if there's something interesting in it or stimulating in this video, please, you know, that's getting you thinking about these topics, please like it. And also, if you're enjoying the content here on Politics 2100, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.